Okay, so are you ready for this? We're going deep today. Deep into sitting still like a frog.
Sounds relaxing already.
Right. I mean, who doesn't need to, sit still like a frog sometimes?
Especially these days.
So this book by Eline Snel, it's all about mindfulness for kids. But honestly, I think there's some real gems in here for us grown-ups too.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of those books that you think is for kids, and then you start reading it, and you're like, wait a minute. I need this.
Exact. And it's not just a bunch of theory. It's packed with exercises, actual things you can try with your kids.
Right.
Or, by yourself in the bathroom, whatever works.
No judgment here.
Exactly. Which is kind of the whole point of mindfulness, right?
Yeah.
But before we jump into all the cool exercises and stuff, let's back up for a sec. What exactly is mindfulness anyway? It's one of those words that gets thrown around a lot.
It really is. Like, is it just like breathing or something?
Yeah, I mean, I get the idea that it's about like being present. But the book actually has a really clear definition. It says, mindfulness is about being aware of the present moment without judgment.
Without judgment. That's the tricky part.
Right. Easier said than done, I think.
For sure. I mean, we're so used to like constantly judging our thoughts and feelings. Oh, I shouldn't be feeling this way, or this thought is stupid. Mindfulness is about like stepping back from that and just noticing what's happening without all that mental chatter.
Okay. So it's more about noticing than controlling.
Exactly. It's like if you're watching clouds drift by, you don't try to change them, right? You just observe them, see their shapes, how they move. Mindfulness is kind of like that, but with your thoughts and feelings.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get it. But how does this actually help kids? I mean, they're already pretty good at being present, are they?
They are, but think about it. They're also constantly being told what to do, what to think, how to feel. Mindfulness gives them a chance to just be with their experience, and it helps them develop these core principles that the book talks about: presence, acceptance, and understanding.
Okay. Break those down for me. What do those actually mean?
So presence is like tuning into what's happening right now, in your body, in your mind, around you. Acceptance is about allowing those experiences to just be there without trying to change them or push them away. And understanding is like, reminding yourself that there's always more to the story than your initial reaction.
Okay, I'm already feeling more zen just hearing you explain it. But you know what I love about this book? It's not just about concepts. It's got all these like hands-on exercises you could actually do.
Yeah, tons of them. It's like a mindfulness toolbox.
Exactly. Which one like really jumped out at you?
You know what? The Raisin Exercise, believe it or not.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
Just eating a raisin?
It sounds so basic,
Right.
but it's this like amazing introduction to mindful eating. And that's something that can be so beneficial, not just for kids, but for us adults too.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this magical raisin.
So the idea is to slow down and really engage all your senses. Like, when was the last time you actually tasted your food? We're usually, shoveling it in while we're checking our phones or whatever.
Yeah.
But with this exercise, you take a single raisin and you look at it, really look at it. Notice its color, its texture, its shape. Then you smell it, feel it in your fingers. And then finally, you take a tiny bite. And you pay attention to how it feels in your mouth, the flavor, the way it changes as you chew.
Wow, okay. I never thought about eating a raisin like that. But yeah, I get it. It's about like bringing your full attention to something so simple.
Right. And it's amazing what you notice when you slow down like that. And for kids, it can be a really fun way to learn about their senses, about how their bodies work.
And it could even help them like make healthier choices.
Yeah.
Right? If they're more aware of what they're eating.
Exactly. And not just that, it can even help with digestion. Because when you're mindful, you're actually sending signals to your body to like relax and digest properly.
Okay, that raisin exercise is officially on my to-do list. What other exercises caught your eye?
Oh, the tray memory game is a good one. It's fun, it's engaging for kids, but it's also sneaking in some serious brain training at the same time.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. It's like you have a tray with a bunch of objects on it, right?
Yeah, like a pencil, a toy car, a spoon, whatever. And the kids get to look at the tray for a minute or two, and then it's covered up. And they have to try to remember as many objects as they can.
Yeah, and it's harder than you think.
Right. But by focusing their attention so intently like that, they're actually strengthening their working memory and attention span.
So it's not just a party trick. It's like a mental workout.
Totally. And studies show that even short bursts of this kind of focused attention can actually rewire the brain, like boost those cognitive skills over time.
Okay, I am loving all these practical tips. This is why I love this book. It's not just about like sitting around being zen. It's about giving kids tools they can actually use.
Exactly. And another one that I really like is the daily observations. It's all about like integrating mindfulness into everyday life. The book suggests noticing 5 things on the way to school, like 5 things you see or hear or smell.
Okay, so like I see a red car, I hear a bird singing, I smell someone's coffee, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. But you can adapt it to any routine. 5 things you see while you're brushing your teeth, 5 sounds you hear while you're waiting for the bus. It's just about making mindfulness a habit.
I love that. It's like sneaking in those like mental reps throughout the day. Okay, but let's get real for a second. Kids, they're emotional roller coasters, right?
Yeah.
Tantrums, meltdowns, all that fun stuff. How does mindfulness actually help with that?
Well, one technique that stood out to me was the internal weather notice. It's about teaching kids to view their emotions like weather patterns.
Okay, I'm picturing like little weather map in their heads.
Exactly. So, instead of saying, I'm angry, they can say, it's stormy inside me right now. Or instead of, I'm sad, it's rainy.
Okay, so it's like instead of trying to change the weather, you just acknowledge it.
Yes. And that's a big deal because, often kids and adults try to suppress or deny their emotions. But this technique helps them build emotional literacy. It helps them recognize and name their feelings without judgment, which is so important because, when we can label our emotions, we can start to understand them, manage them better.
Right. It's like if you don't know what you're feeling, you can't really deal with it effectively. Okay, so I'm putting that in my parenting toolkit for sure. And then there's the worry box, which honestly, I think we could all use sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, who doesn't have worries?
Right. The book talks about this idea of like giving kids a designated space to put their worries, whether it's a physical box or just a set time each day to write them down.
Yeah, it's such a simple but powerful tool because the act of externalizing those anxieties, like getting them out of your head and onto paper or into a box, it can create a sense of distance and perspective.
It's like, okay, worries, you have your space now. I can move on with my day.
Exactly. It helps kids and adults realize that they are not their worries. And studies have shown that this kind of practice can actually reduce stress hormones,
Mm.
even improve sleep quality.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here,
Mhm.
but what's the big takeaway? Why is all this mindfulness stuff so important? I mean, beyond just like calming kids down and helping them focus.
Well, the research is pretty compelling. Mindfulness practices have been shown to improve focus, emotional regulation, even like empathy and compassion. And these benefits, they extend far beyond childhood. They're like equipping kids with these essential life skills that they can use to navigate, the challenges of adulthood.
So it's not just about being calm in the moment. It's about building like resilience and emotional intelligence for the long haul.
Exactly. And the great thing is that sitting still like a frog makes these practices so accessible, even for busy families. I mean, the book even includes audio exercises, so you can literally like press play and follow along.
Okay, I love that. Practical, easy to use. That's what we need.
Yeah.
All right, so as we wrap up here, a question for you, dear listener. If mindfulness can help kids navigate their inner world, what could it do for us? I mean, is it ever too late to learn these skills and like reap the benefits?
Never too late, honestly. In fact, a lot of adults find that mindfulness practices become even more valuable as they face, the complexities of work, relationships, just the ever-increasing demands of modern life.
That's encouraging. So whether you're a parent, a teacher, or just someone looking for a little more peace in your own life, I highly recommend checking out Sitting Still Like a Frog. And hey, try some of those exercises yourself. You might be surprised at what you discover.
Absolutely. And, just remember that mindfulness is a journey, not a destination. So be kind to yourself, be patient, and most importantly, have fun with it.
Beautifully said. Okay, that's all for today's deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those minds mindful.
See you next time.